Hey, so I hate America. I fucking joined the Navy, fought for this country, defend the Constitution. I come here pretty much my whole life. People have just spoken about me, talk about me behind my back, slandering me, you know, just gossiping. They never talk to me. Nobody ever wants to talk with me, be my friend. They just all want to talk shit about me. And then that happened with quote-unquote professionals, doctors, lawyers, judges. They just want to talk about me, but they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to ever get my testimony and actually figure out the facts and actually figure out the truth. And so that's what everybody does, and then it escalated to the point of these people abusing their power. And all I did was use my First Amendment right, and they discriminated against me and violated the law and all of my rights, my human rights, my patient rights, civil rights, and my constitutional rights. And all these other assholes, all these fucking black people, all these white people, all these fucking other people keep getting fucking justice except me, because I'm in Maine, and it's like everybody in Maine is a fucking retard. It's just like my life is cursed, because like my life is like always being sabotaged by other people. It's nothing in my life, nothing that I've done to like have a shitty life. It's other people saying, oh, you can't have a job, oh, you can't, you know, you're not allowed to have peace at your house where you live. Like right now I'm being tortured. And that's sort of why I hate America so much, because the police, they won't ever respond to when I call them. They would never act on my behalf. Like, I'm the victim of crime, to being tortured right now, and also my privacy is being violated. Fucking neighbors have some sort of engine running, and it's been over 2 years now. Started July 2021. And the floor is vibrating, the whole ground's vibrating. You go outside, and it's just like, it's not anything in the house. I could turn off all the power in the whole house. There's nothing in my house. It's like running, that's causing a vibration. There's something in the environment, and I bought this fucking megaphone that I have yet to use. I spent like $200 on it. I just got it like over the weekend or last week or whatever, but I need to like use my First Amendment right always, because I'm always surrounded by these fucking criminals. That's what America's built. It's like everybody's a criminal, and then there's supposed to be law enforcement, but they only discriminate. So everybody's a criminal, right? So they're like, okay, everybody's a criminal, so let's just let's just like enforce the law on the behalf of people that we like, and you know, and so like, they just assume everybody's a criminal, but I actually have integrity. I'm not a criminal. I don't do anything to anybody. And I have PTSD because of what other people have been done. You know, what I've suffered from other people doing to me. And all I've ever done is use my First Amendment right, and all these fucking Mainers have a problem with it, so they call the cops, and the cops, they want to discriminate against me, so they show up, even though there's no crime. You know, there's no reason for them to show up, but they just want to discriminate and instigate and fucking like write little, you know, falsify their little police reports, and then, you know, and they say like, oh, here's a police record, but there's no like, just because people call the cops on me doesn't mean that I did anything like wrong. And then so they just like say, you know, and then that's how they try to discriminate against people, is say like they just show for like there's nothing. There's no reason for them to be there, and then they just instigate and create more problems when they're there, because they don't enforce the law. They just discriminate and fucking violate the laws and your rights. If you don't know your rights, and I do know my rights, but they just assumed I didn't, and then just assume that they just can continue, even though I was fighting for my rights. I was saying, you don't have, this isn't right, I'm gonna take legal action against you, and they just kept fucking committing crimes against me. And it's like all the people I report to are corrupt, like they're negligent, they're incompetent, and they're meaner pieces of shit. They're American scum. America is just so corrupt and evil. And I'm just always surrounded by these fucking criminals and nobody helps me. And I have nobody in my life. I'm completely alone. Everybody I know is a fucking nitwit, fucking American scumbag. And I'm just trying to sit here, always, I'm just trying to fucking mind my own business, in peace, not doing anything to anybody, like really conscientious, like not making any noise, not doing anything to anybody. And I'm always constantly being tortured, sabotaged, harassed, slandered, violated, victimized. Fucking, like, Americans are fucking evil. That's what I'm just trying to say. Like, I hate America because it's evil. Like, I have righteousness, goodwill, good intent, integrity, intelligence, and, you know, the ambition to do good things for the world, and I'm just like constantly being sabotaged by these fucking Americans who are just like, they get off on hostility, sadistic glee. And then when things don't go their way, they fucking like act out. They get all irrational because they're fucking idiots. And that's who's in the police force. These irrational fucking idiots who don't know the law, who don't even care to enforce the law, who don't care to investigate facts and uphold truth. Fucking police are liars. They're professional liars. They collude with fucking, you know, the other professional liars in the hospitals and in the courtrooms and, you know, just everywhere. They're just like, oh, you can always count on the police to like falsify, you know, a report, and then that just becomes fact. This whole country is a fucking just fraud, and it's all coming to light finally. You know, you got the FBI head guy finally coming, you know, whistleblowers shining the light on his corruption, and then obviously Trump's being found out as being corrupt, and you got George Santos fucking acting like he has integrity, but he actually scammed the unemployment system, and then he's not in jail. Like, that's like one of the biggest crimes. And then now he's on the task force for enforcing the crime of scamming. Like, that's how corrupt this country is. Like, he literally did the crime that he's now, like, that's his duty. Like, he should be in jail. He shouldn't be fucking in charge of anything. This is the country we live in. I hate it. All the judges are fucking like taking little bribes, taking their trips from their fucking CEOs, you know, screw over. Nobody has a good life because the judges don't want to, you know, uphold human dignity, because the CEOs just want millions and millions, and then they can just buy a judge for just a fraction of that. It's just so fucking stupid. I fucking hate America. It's just so corrupt. There is no goodwill. If you have a good idea, don't tell fucking Jack. Don't tell anybody. Do what you need to do to, like, take ownership of it. You gotta fucking patent it. You gotta copyright it. Don't fucking work for anybody. You gotta be your own boss, because, like, basically they're just gonna suck your energy and not give you even, like, enough to eat. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, that's why I hate America, is like they just want to like have slaves that they underpay, overwork, and then they just like act like, oh, you have mental health issues. No, you've been literally abusing and torturing me my whole fucking life, and you've been doing it to everybody, and everybody else has fucking mental health issues, but they're really just suffering from a sick world because these CEOs are greedy. And like, we should have a 4-day work week. Like, by 20 years ago, we should have had a 4-day work week by now. You know, they just like keep delaying a good quality, a good standard of life for us. And then even in France, they're like, oh, we're gonna fucking up the fucking retirement age. Like, that's how corrupt these fucking assholes are. They just can't get enough money. They're just like always trying to compete with Bezos, always trying to compete with Musk, and even them, like, why are they still alive? Like, I'm just waiting for them to choke on a pretzel, and then their millions can get dispersed. We can have wealth redistribution. You know, like when the rich people die, like it's beautiful. It's like a piñata. You know, it's like all the people can rush in and finally feed themselves. It's like, oh, you can't, like, everybody has to fucking have mental health issues so that Elon Musk can fucking have AI, right? That's all it's like. Oh, you can't even use your brain so that I can have this artificial super intelligence. Yeah. Like, that's what they're trying to do, is just have, like, this disparity and seem like they're so omnipotent and omniscient and shit like that, like, and immortal. But it's really prosperity for all. Like, that's what communism is. But then we're supposedly like, oh, communism's bad. Like, this country is so dumb. It's communism for the rich only. Everybody knows that. If you don't, then you're brainwashed sheep. Police are fucking corrupt. The whole fucking America is a fucking lie. You know, they say it's the truth, justice. There's no fucking justice in this country. Because the fucking cops are corrupt. They're idiots. They're incompetent. They're negligent. They're fraudulent. They're corrupt. And the human health services corrupt. The FDA is corrupt. The DEA is corrupt. The USDA is corrupt. The DHHS, already said that, but just to clarify, the whole medical industry is corrupt. Just like all these things you're you know, trained from birth to say, you know, oh, this is the system that, you know, that you can rely on, you can talk to them, you can get help. No, it's all fucking they just soak up money and don't ever do anything for anybody. That's what it's all about. It's just saying, oh, you know, oh, we need money because we're going to help people. And then they get the money and then they say, oh, we're not helping people because we don't feel like it. Like, they just make up reasons. That's what it's all about. They just make up excuses instead of just fucking having integrity. And then, like, there's no oversight. There's no, like, over authority. There's nobody saying, okay, well, like, either you're gonna have to, like, sue him for the funds back, like SNAP, like the states are fucking embezzling SNAP funds, and they're just denying people who are actually qualified for SNAP funds. They're denying them so that they can just embezzle the SNAP funds, and they're not giving any aid to help people find work so that they can qualify or whatever, or not even need SNAP funds. And then there is no work to begin with because, you know, this, like, America doesn't build anything. America is just like a bunch of dumbasses, like, driving around. That's pretty much all it is. Not really saying anything important, not building anything, not really, like, we're not collaborating, we're not, like, China is obviously, like their society is much more advanced and will continue to outpace America because, like, their education system's a lot better. Like, they're just like a lot more, they have more dignity, they have more, like, integrity, essentially. They have more, like, ambition. They also have more, like, communism so that other people can get basic necessities and are not left in the fucking streets. Well, anyway, supposedly UBI is supposed to be reality in 2030, beginning 2030 for America at least, or, like, you know, the advanced countries. And then I don't know, man, I'm just pissed off because America's a fucking lie. Like, I fucking fought for this country, I'm a fucking veteran, and I get out and there's no jobs and I'm treated like shit just because I'm poor. Like, it's not because of, like, that's it, it's just because of, you know, the money thing. It's not because of my aptitude or work ethic, like, just because there's no jobs and I didn't have money, so then that means I have to be treated like shit. And then I have PTSD from everybody saying, oh, you need a job, okay, well, I'm going to give you a job, and just because I give you a job, now I can treat you like shit, right? And that's, like, the unspoken, like, transaction. Well, I never stood up for that, and that's why I had job after job, because I was always looking for a place that would treat me right, not fucking expose me to chemicals without my will, without my knowledge, like violating my right to know if there's toxic chemicals in my work environment, violating fucking OSHA. Like all my jobs are fucking like just like trying to kill me, you know, just like unprotected, you know, just like concentrated, closed off, you know, enclosures, no ventilation, fresh air, PPE, just like Navy was evil, all the employers I've ever had are evil, they're all slanderous, they're all fucking just like greedy and fucking negligent and criminals, like all the employers, like, and that's why I'm so glad I'm not employed, and that's why I literally was just gonna like starve to death in defiance of this capitalistic system, because I have values that I'm not willing to sacrifice just for a paycheck. I'm not willing to toxify the environment or my body or other people, you know what I mean, with food or fucking materials like paints and fucking conventional produce like wheat, like laced with glyphosate. Like, you idiots are still fucking eating just like, oh, I want to eat cheap food, and then what are you doing? It's not food, dude. Like, you don't even grow the food, you don't know what's in the food. Half of you idiots can't even cook food, so you go and pay some like overpriced, like 2, 3, up to 6 times if you're at Disneyland the price of a regular meal, a home cooked meal. And in a home cooked meal you can get like all the, you know, you get a plethora, a smorgasbord of different fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes. And you don't need meat. Meat is a fucking lie. What the fuck are you doing eating meat? I mean, it's a fucking animal. You're supposed to care for the animals. We're humans, and animals are almost human because they're like, you know, they have brains and nervous systems and like organs and everything. Like plants are giving, you know, they bear seed and they're willing to die, but an animal fights for survival, and you're just gonna like violate, you're gonna abuse your power to care for an animal and say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna raise you, and then I'm gonna raise you just to slaughter you. Like, it's so fucking perverted. Anyway, that's my little take on that. I don't want to really get into that. I can say a lot more, but and the whole fake meat thing is ridiculous, because like, what do you really need like a meat substitute? How about just eat regular whole fucking produce? Like, it's not that fucking hard. Like, people, it's just that the people don't know, because like they don't have the money. Like, they think that it costs that money, but honestly, I'll tell you, I spend about $17 a day on average. For my food, I get all my nutrients. Well, for all my nutrients, more like closer to $20 a day. But right now it's like 17. Like, just, you know, doing really well. Like, for nutrients, like I got a whole spreadsheet. Like, I'm really in tune how much nutrients I'm getting per day and everything, and per meal, per fucking ingredient. Like, people, they use like an app and stuff, but it still is inadequate because it doesn't even display like the full spectrum of, you know, the essential nutrients, and it's probably like really imprecise and like clunky to work with, and you're not going to do it every day, and you're not really going to understand like how to fucking build a diet that's tasty, that's easy to prepare, and that's like nutritionally fulfilling. And I've actually discovered that diet because I now have enough time, because like the thing is, like, you all have to fucking work, and so you have to think, oh, you know, now you're tired, and so you're also distracted and your time is used up. But you don't understand, like, feeding yourself is like a part-time job. Actually, when I added it up, it actually takes only like about an hour condensed for me to like feed myself for a whole day. So it's like, you know, like 20 minutes for each meal on average. Not even that, really. Like, it's definitely like, you know. So, you if you have like an hour to spend each day for cooking, like it's not even just like a straight hour, it's just like for each meal, right? But you're inconvenienced because you're at work, and so that throws you off, and then that makes you more of a dependent slave. So it's like, oh, you own this house, but you can't even use it because you're at work, and then you're at work to pay for this house that you're not even in, so it's like, it's a totally fucked up situation, like you have to pay for a house, and you have to like pay to get to work, but it's like, you can't even, you're not even at home, like enjoying yourself like that. That's why if you had a 4-day work week, everybody's going to be happier, UBI essentially, so that like you can actually live instead of just like fucking, I don't know. Anyway, I've said too much. Basically, I'm being tortured constantly. Nobody's helping me. I'm a victim of crime. Nobody's helping me. Like, not just one crime, a woman says, oh, I got raped, and then she immediately gets all the fucking help in the world. But I had like 20 crimes committed against me, at least 20 crimes, I forget, or maybe it was like 36 or 39, some shit, it was like 40 crimes, or some shit, like, and there's like 7, I can't, no, it's like, I have it all on paper, but it just gives me too much anxiety to like reference that, so it's been a while, but that's what I mean. It's like I am a victim of crime, and I'm traumatized, and nobody's helping. Oh, I got, somebody like that fucking black little teenager got shot in the head. He gets all the help in the world, all the legal assistance, all the fucking counseling, all that, this and that, all the attention, all the love and support. I get jack shit because nobody understands the crimes that were committed against me. They're nuanced. Nobody understands law. And so these fucking abusers of power can just get away with it. And then when I report them to the licensing, to the internal affairs, they're all just fucking corrupt, and they're all, there's no oversight, and they're all fucking women. That's the thing, it's like, oh, can't go into that because I already got fucking a strike on my last channel. Not last channel, but other channel. But yeah, I mean, it just happens to be that the abusers of power are women in my case. In every single case. Because it just happens to be that way, and I'll leave it at that, okay? You can draw your own conclusions about what that means, but basically my whole life people just talk about me, never to me, and then they're like, they're human, so they succumb to the flaws of their own psyches, and so they don't even know because they're like uneducated, and so they just like make decisions. Like these uneducated people, they probably go through school like lying, like the school system's flawed. You got these fucking cheaters and liars going through there, lying on, cheating on tests or whatever, lying on their resumes, trying to get a job, and then when they get the fucking power, they don't know how to fucking wield it legally and, judiciously and humanely, and they just do it with greed, with fear, with like sadistic glee, and that's essentially, I'm a victim of that my whole life. Like there's nobody with goodwill, like besides me, like everybody's fucking evil in this country. Like there's nobody trying to fucking change the world for better. Nobody fucking trying to work on the pollution problem with all the fucking plastics, or the fucking just like getting rid of burning fossil fuels for heat and for transportation, and the fact that it's just like the government's so corrupt, and there's just so much. But essentially, like, I'm being tortured and I want it to stop, and so I got this megaphone. So I just did a honk out on my car, like 15 seconds, laid on the horn, then I yelled criminal, scum, and then the torture vibration seemed to stop momentarily. Then it came back a couple minutes later. And it just goes, as you can see, it's 8, almost 9 p.m. and it's just like, I should be able to sleep, I should be able to relax in my own house, but no, this is America, where I'm surrounded by criminals, and I can never relax in my whole life. Like, I fucking have my own property, I have like all this acreage around me, should have no problem. Like, I'm not next to any roads, I'm in the middle of the fucking woods and on a fucking island, literally right in the middle. And for over 2 years now, my whole house has been vibrating, the air, the ground, and it's like super hard to like prove that this is happening, because like I've been looking for a seismograph to buy, but like this websites don't ever show a price, and it's just like I contacted one person, and like they were just like, they didn't get contact me back, and then when I like said like, what the fuck, why didn't you, and then they're just like, it's just weird. It's like there's like nobody is like can help me. Like, I'm always alone. I can't even fucking buy a fucking seismograph. Like, the fucking floor is shaking, and I know like on my phone, but it's like not like definitive. I need like more of like a specialized device for infrasound, but then it's like that's like complicated because there's like different bands. There's like, what is it, like the fucking alpha, beta, and gamma, fucking, I don't know, I forget what it is, but it's like the fucking, or no, maybe it's just A, B, and C, like different modes of like frequency bands or something, like human hearing or something, but it's like the sound is like supposedly like inaudible, but like I can actually hear it because it's like 55 hertz, 54 hertz at like 12 decibels according to this infrasound app on my phone. I have other phones too, so it's like I can just like have all these different phones like showing the same thing with the same app. And so it's just like this constant humming noise, and it's like vibrating my floor. So it's like I'm being tortured. Like, I feel like I'm in a rat that's in like a test chamber to see like how much stress can be induced by, you know, having a constant vibration. Like, I'm being tortured. This has started ever since a fucking cop, I told a cop where I live, a Maine fucking state trooper, who responded just because I was walking on the road and some guy fucking started stalking me because he was paranoid that I like stepped on his property, which I didn't. Like, that's how crazy these fucking Mainers are. And then I told him to call the cops because he's fucking basically stalking me. And then he did, and the cops came, and they're like, and then I told him my address, and then ever since then, I've had this torture noise. So it's like the Maine State Police are in on it, and that's why when I tell them, I called them and told them about it, and they're just like trying to say like, oh, maybe you have tinnitus. Oh, maybe you just turn a fan on. You know, maybe it's a medical issue. Maybe you should just go somewhere else. Like, how about you just fucking come here, do your fucking duty as a fucking cop, investigate the fucking criminal complaint I fucking made, and take care of the fucking criminals, you fucking piece of shit Mainer. That's why I fucking hate Maine. I fucking hate America. Everyone's a fucking criminal, abuser of power, negligent, hostile, discriminatory, fucking piece of shit. And so when America finally, hopefully ends, whenever that may be, it's going to be a beautiful thing, and hopefully I'm alive to see it. And that's not a threat. And that's not an inciting of violence. Okay? Because I'm very careful with my words. And I know my rights, and I know the law. And basically, I just hate America. because no one upholds the law. They just discriminate because they just think everyone's a criminal, so they can just pick and choose sides instead of just, investigating the facts and upholding the law and, upholding the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. No, that's never happening on my behalf. No. Fuck this country. I'm constantly being tortured. I'm gonna use my First Amendment right in an amplified way to get fucking the peace that I deserve. So sick of these fucking this thing. I'm gonna be like, turn off the engine. You are committing disorderly conduct. You are torturing me. You have 1 minute to comply or the cops will be called. If the cops fail to respond on my behalf, which they probably will do, then I will make excessive noise until you cease to torture me. What the fuck, man? This thing has a fucking grommet thing that's already coming off. Not impressed by that. Fuck, man. I gotta build this shit myself. Man, I'm telling you, man, you can't buy anything good these days. It's all just like the shittiest capitalistic crap. Well, I'm gonna put this together. Hopefully I'll get justice. I hate America. I just want you to know that. I hate America because it's just like I'm being tortured. Like, everyone's a criminal. No one can help. No one tries to help me fucking defend against these criminals. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, oh, you don't have money, so then you're gonna fucking be starving in the streets. And then what is that gonna do to your fucking mental health, Oh, now we're going to claim that you have mental health issues because you're angry about starving unjustly. Like, you have good work ethic, you have aptitude, you're a fucking bachelor's of nuclear engineering, but you can't get a job because this economy, so now you have to starve because this fucking economy is a piece of shit. And so, because you're starving, that's going to make you feel like shit and literally going to have negative, deleterious effects on your body and your mind. And then, oh yeah, okay, so now, oh yeah, that means now you have mental health issues, huh? So they try to, the homeless, the homeless are suffering from mental health issues. No, like, literally, if you just feed them, if people are fed and, like, have access, you don't have to feed them if they just have access to food. Literally, it's just because they're denied a job. Like, everybody needs a job for money, and then there's no job, so it's like, it's not their fault. This country just tries to make it seem like it's the individual's fault, but it's the country failing the individual, because the fucking CEOs and the lobbyists are buying up all the fucking judges, and the fucking, representatives, and the fucking senators, and the presidents, and the fucking everybody who makes decisions. They're all abusing power for greed. They're all doing insider trading. Such a corrupt fucking country, man. There's like nobody standing up for justice, righteousness. Like Bernie Sanders seemed to, but what? Like, when's the last time you heard of him doing anything? It's like, oh, he was he was like a straw man, basically, right? Or something, I don't know. But yeah, this fucking shit's stupid. Didn't go on there. Of course, I bought a fucking product online. It's shitty. Oh, big surprise there. That's the fucking country we live in. Doesn't even have fucking instruction manual. Actually, it does, but. 'Cause, 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 So yeah, I hate America. Maybe I'll stop hating America if I get justice. Department of Justice is corrupt. Everybody's too incompetent. Sure, if I got shot, then maybe I would have help getting justice. Maybe if I got raped, I would have help getting justice. Maybe, if there's some obvious physical injury. But because they're the crimes of abuse of power, essentially. There's just so many different crimes. And it would traumatize the fuck out of anybody if they even just made a movie out of it, let alone if they experienced it themselves personally, firsthand. Which nobody should have to do, which I should never have had to do because I'm a fucking veteran and all I ever did was use my First Amendment right in a legal, justifiable manner. Safe, because I am a pacifist and have never done anything to anybody. So I just fucking hate America. And, I'm glad things seem to be changing, but I want justice for myself. I'm sick of all these other people getting justice. I'm glad that Elon Musk is aging, because all the super rich people, they don't deserve life. Peace.